Before we begin, I'd like to give a moment of silence for Adobe Flash, one of the greatest computer programs of all time. Okay, that's long enough. On with the video. There's nothing quite like the joy of being a kid and going to the computer lab in the late 2000s. There is a reason we were all excited. Well, a couple of reasons actually. First, we used a computer to call our teacher a cunt. Second, we tried to look up naked pictures of women on a school Wi-Fi, which didn't turn out too well, you can guess. And third, we'd all go to a certain website to play Flash games. Cool Math for Kids. Unlike its name suggests, there's no math involved whatsoever. There's puzzle games and such, because I wouldn't be making a video if I actually had to talk about that boring crap. Every game was free and new ones would be added almost every week. It was one of the most popular things in my school. But time passed, and by the time we were all in middle school, Cool Math was no longer socially acceptable, and I just kinda forgot about it. But upon hearing about the death of Flash next month, I decided to honor the program's legacy by playing some random games on the site for some fun. The first one we're looking at was my favorite in elementary school, Run. It takes place in the 3D world. Your character constantly runs non-stop, so your goal is to move from left to right and jump to avoid falling off the stage. There are over 50 levels, and most have some gimmick that makes them feel different, as well as the stage color constantly changing with each level. That's not to mention an infinite mode that goes on forever. Who'd want to play it? I don't know, as well as a creative mode, where you can make your own levels and stuff. Like I said earlier, Run is my favorite. I remember being the best in my class at it, and I just show off to the other boys. It's a fun game, and I recommend you play it. Next, we have Run 2, which is much different than its predecessor. Instead of running around on a flat surface, you'll be racing on huge blocks suspended in the air. There are a few nice additions too, like being able to play as a new character, the skater, and a collectible in every level. Again, it's a great play and I'd recommend it to anyone who likes Flash games. Then we have the final piece of the holy triforce of Cool Math games, Run Free. This takes everything from the previous two games to a whole new level. You can just tell from the music alone. The world is more massive in Run and Run 2 combined, with your standard level path as well as a variety of optional paths to choose from. New characters were added too, like this lizard guy, but most of them take forever to unlock, so it's kind of a downside. There's even these gems you find that work as currency to buy characters and stuff. I think I'd put it best saying this: both Run 1 and 2 can be beaten in under an hour together, while the third one will take you at least a couple days to complete. A lot of effort went into this, and it's completely free to play. You can even download it on a mobile device if you want, so at least this game won't go away after Flash dies. Up next is 60-Second Burger Run, where you play as this fat piece of jello or whatever and have to make it to a burger shop in time. It has an 8-bit style, which is nice, but for some reason it keeps freezing every couple seconds. After a while, I just gave up. Now, let's move on to one of the best series on the site, the Fireboy and Water Girl Saga, or just play the Forest Temple one because it reminds me of Ocarina of Time. You play as two different individuals in a puzzle-solving 2D platformer. Neither of them can touch each other's element, and the levels have very well thought-out puzzles. It's an alright title, but it was never really my thing. But there are many, many more if you're into this type of genre. Another group of Cool Math classics are the Papa's Cooking games. Sounds, a little weird, I know, but trust me. There are like 20 of them, but we'll keep it simple and just play one. Papa's Pizzeria. It's simple gameplay-wise. Orders are taken and you make them. I gotta give credit to the aesthetic too. The sound is nice, character designs are unique, and overall it looks really good for something free to play. My favorite thing to do though is to try to mess up the orders as much as possible. Yeah, that's good. I can't blame him. I'd be pretty pissed off too. On to some more basic games on the site. There's Snake. It's Snake. There's Chess 2. And this quiz cake thingy. Let's get to some harder ones, shall we? Blue Boy's pretty tough. I mean, you play as a blue boy in an 8-bit world. Wherever you go, you leave a bomb behind, and a key to the level is needed to escape. IQ Ball sounds tough. You're this ball and have a string to move stuff with to reach your literal target. It's not too bad though, except for that creepy sun. But nothing comes close to the world's hardest game. That's the title. Way to be modest. It's not so hard, as in completely unfair. The block that's your character moves so freaking slow and I get lag every couple seconds. This was the one game that back in 5th grade none of us could beat, except for this one kid, who said he did, but he never provided any evidence and couldn't even get past the first level, so he probably didn't. The title is contradictory though, because it has a sequel. You guessed it, the world's hardest game 2. The coins are new, it's a little easier than the first, but too unfair to be any fun at all. There's also a frequel, where you need to essentially pass a level to get to a new game or continue. No, just no. We're almost done, but a few games I want to show still remain. Santa Kicker's a whack one. No one ever played it because when we were kids, we still believed in Santa and we believed that we would get coal if we did play it. Apparently, Santa got cloned by the Greenlandic government and is being used as a suicide bomber to throw down chimneys to vaporize innocent children. I hope you've been good this year, children, because if you haven't, you're gonna become coal this year. The last two we're looking at today are really addicting ones, 2048 and Idle Dice. In 2048, you move tiles with the number 2 into each other to make 4, then you move 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, and so on until 2048 is reached, then you win. It's hard and addicting as hell though, it's just addicting to watch. In fact, it's available on the 3DS eShop if you want to play it that way. At last is Idle Dice. Even more addicting than 2048, you roll dice, earn points, and buy upgrades with those points, and it's an endless loop. When I said it's addicting, I meant it because I spent over an hour playing it after I got the footage for this video. It's fun though, it will be a great addition as a minigame in some larger game or something. Jeez, so many memories came back to me today. All good, but I'm a little sad. These days are over, and it was all made possible by one computer program, Flash. Listen, Adobe. You can take away the ability for us to permanently buy your software. You can take away affordable prices, but you can never take away our Flash! Or you can, because there's literally no one who cares, and those of us who do can't do anything. Rest in peace, Flash. Press F to pay respects, everybody.